Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson tonight. The United States may be losing a star from its flag for the first time ever. That's what activists in the state of California want. Ever since the election of President Trump, the campaign for Cal-Exit, the secession of California to become an independent country, has been gaining steam while the rest of us have been talking about Russia. Well, now supporters for that plan believe they are close to breaking away. They're pushing for a 2018 ballot referendum that would declare California no longer an inseparable part of the United States and would order the governor to negotiate for greater autonomy up to and including national independence as a country. If campaigners can get 585,000 signatures by January 22nd of next year, the question will go on the ballot. Shankar Sinam is a Californian. He's campaigning for his state to become a separate nation, and he joins us tonight. Shankar, thanks for coming on. So,
hello.
I mean, this is one of those stories that we have sort of put into the amusing category, kind of a joke. I was in California this morning, and it dawned on me, this is real. This could happen thanks to the ballot initiative system in the state, and this would mean breaking up the United States of America. Do you fully comprehend the implications of this?
Certainly. I don't think it's, you're making it sound as if California is moving 100,000 miles away. We're not. We're still here. We're still trading with each other, communicating with each other. Families are still going to see each other. It's not as if, we're moving millions of miles away.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, Haiti and the Dominican Republic are next to each other. They're on the same island, and they're totally separate countries that are hostile to each other. I mean, just because they're contiguous doesn't mean that they're part of the same union anymore. You're breaking up the United States. That's your goal.
They're hostile to each other. We're a nonviolent movement. California is nonviolent. You know our gun policy. I mean, it doesn't have to be hostile, Tucker. We're still here. I mean,
but why would the rest of the states? Why would the rest of us Americans let California go without a war?
Well, I mean, it's really not up to the rest of the states, really. But do the rest of the states really love California? From what I've been hearing, I mean, from the rest of the states, we're snowflakes and we're hippies, and we don't know. We're in huge debt crisis, and our hospitals are overcrowded, and all the rumors and
those are real. Well, those aren't exactly. Those aren't rumors. I don't think of Californians as hippies or snowflakes. I think of them as poor people, because there's more poverty in your state than any other. Well, it's just a fact. But the point is, it's not actually up to California. It's up to the rest of the states whether California can leave the union. And this could quite easily turn into conflict. I mean, it did in the 1860s when South Carolina tried it. Have you thought this through?
Yeah, so, our back to poverty level, we have 40 million people here. We are the highest populous state. So, yeah, of course, we have a high poverty level. And as far as up to the rest of the states, if you can think of a reason why you want us to stay, please let me hear it. Because what we've been hearing is that we're nothing but a burden to the United States. And the exact opposite is true. Not only economically, but culturally, we're just a dominant state. We're a global powerhouse.
Well, I'm not against it. Well, keep telling yourself that. I mean, I'm not against. I mean, I'm from California. My family's from there. I was just there, as I said again, this morning. But it just seems like a big move. So let's get specific. If California becomes its own country, do you plan to give citizenship to the illegals within your borders? And do you intend to have a border policy as a country?
Yeah, certainly we're going to have a border policy. If you're a nation, you need your borders. Citizenship to illegals, definitely a pathway to citizenship that's much quicker than what the United States has right now. Definitely, we want them, they're already working. We want them working without that stress. They're a key and integral part to California. We really need them to, they're the backbone of our economy, or the fifth largest economy, and they are really a big part of it. And so we want them to, be comfortable here and have a good path to citizenship.
What about all the federal land in California, the military bases in California? Those don't belong to the state. Do you pay market value for those?
So, yeah, the military bases we'd lease out just like Germany does and South Korea does. just pay a yearly fee to California. And as far as the federal land, it's
wait, hold on. So I'm sorry to interrupt. So you would have foreign troops on your soil, Camp Pendleton. You'd have thousands of Marines from another country in the middle of your country. Why would you do that?
Well, the United States does that to every other country on the planet.
Well, and when we're invited in, or we beat them in the Second World War, yeah, we do that. But why would California do that?
Well, you're in Japan and in Korea. You're here already. The United States military bases are here. Keep them here. If they want a slow withdrawal, they can slowly take their troops back. It's their bases back. But I have no problem with the United States.
You're using the words
here.
"they" and "you." It sounds like you already don't think that you're part of the United States.
Well, this is California, Tucker. We're not the United States. Our values are different. We're fundamentally different in the way we act, we speak, and how we think about the world globally, whether it has to do with war, the climate, environment. We are just a different state. And I know you can understand it, you being from California, and I'm not sure how long you haven't been here yet, but we're going to do things that are going to be beneficial for our state, and we disregard what the United States thinks or even their laws. For example, our marijuana, sanctuary cities. If it's good for the state, we're going to do it, regardless of what the federal law is. So.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to say. I think probably you're right in a lot of ways. California is its own country already because of its immigration policy. It's deeply depressing to me as someone who's from there, but I think you're telling the truth in a way, and I appreciate that. I wonder, though, my final question is, you've so mismanaged your little country or state or whatever we're calling it now, economically. There's been a massive exodus of middle-class Californians to neighboring states. Well, I mean, the numbers are there. I mean, you've lost hundreds of thousands of people making between $100,000 and $200,000 over the past 10 years, and they've enriched Idaho and Montana and even Wyoming and Washington State. Like, if it's such a well-run place, why is the middle class leaving?
So, Tucker, you have to look at the bigger picture here. So, fifth largest economy in the world. Now, if you have to repeat that, say it again. We are the fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah,
you want to call that mismanaged? Fine.
No, but I mean, it's basically the economy of Mexico. You've got a small number of rich people, the tech people, and you've got a ton of poor people, and the middle class is leaving. Like, that's a recipe for instability. You're aware of that, right?
In regards to middle class leaving, that's actually a good thing. We need these spots opened up for the new wave of immigrants to come up. It's what we do. We're exporting our middle class to the United States. You guys should be thanking us for that. Not only that, when our middle class does move out to Texas and to Colorado, they're taking our values out to the United States and to Texas. So if you look at Texas, in fact, all the major cities that Californians are going to, they are turning blue. And soon enough, Texas will be a blue state. And
dude,
all of the red states soon enough.
I don't know if this
blue.
is like a. I've never met you. I've never heard of you. I don't know if this is like a parody segment. You're punking me, or you're really high and you're just telling the truth because high people do. But you just said you're happy to be exporting the middle class of your state. Now, I happen to think that your policymakers are happy that they're leaving. But the fact that you're admitting this on live TV, bottom line, are you being serious?
Well, I'm only admitting the truth. There's a middle class of people that are leaving California, and they're going to Oregon and Colorado and Texas. Yes, there is.
And you're happy about that?
I don't know how. Well, I mean, if they want to move, there's nothing for me to stop them. I mean, I'm sure they'll find out how boring it is and they'll come back. I don't know, but if they choose to live out there, they can live out there.
Right, yeah, okay. What an amazing interview. Thank you. And I'm sincerely, thank you for telling the truth. I appreciate it. Victor Davis Hanson is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford. He's a professor at Cal State University, Fresno. He's been in California all his life. His family's been there for over 100 years. He's watched the state change. He joins us now. Did you just hear that interview?
What's that?
I just interviewed a man. Okay, so he said two things that really struck me. One, no, he doesn't think that California has much in common with the rest of the country. And two, yes, the middle class is leaving. He was honest enough to admit that. And that's a good thing. What do you make of that?
Yeah. Well, it's unhinged because about 75% of the geography of California is red. And we have this two Californias from San Diego to La Jolla where about 30 million people live. But if you were going to succeed, all of the minerals, the oil, the agriculture is farmed or worked or mined by conservatives. And when they go, they're not leaving to spread California values. They're leaving because they have 13% income tax, the second highest sales tax, third highest gas tax, and yet their schools are rated 46th in the country, and they're, I think Forbes rated our freeways 49th in the country. So we have 1 out of every 4 people in California was not born in the United States, and we have 22% below the poverty level, 1 out of 3 on welfare. So it's Mississippi and Massachusetts in one state, and people are leaving to get away from that.
Exactly. Watching California, I was always very pro-immigration, always, and watching what's happened in California really made me pause. This guy just admitted that he's happy to replace the middle-class population of California with poor immigrants because, well, he didn't really say why, but that's a good thing.
Well, I'm sitting here in Palo Alto, and I can tell you that poor immigrants are living 7 and 8 families to a house in Redwood City, and they clean the tables of the techies and the masters of the universe. But you mentioned to them, let's build affordable housing on 280. We have open spaces, we have mass transit, a beautiful freeway, and they go ballistic. So they do like this apartheid society where they're the Spartan ruling class and everybody else is a helot. So it's kind of pathetic that people would admit, as you pointed out, that they're really medieval in the way that they envision California.
But you're totally right about their attitudes. Move the Somali